There is sad news. The founder of Ondo Finance has died, and so the price has crashed. Can we potentially support the team, support the project by buying the Ondo token now? Let's have a look at the data. Let's see how Ondo Finance gets used over time. Let's try to figure out whether or not this is a buy the dip opportunity. Here is the official announcement by the Ondo team. The price has come down, but maybe it will recover soon. In the past, it has recovered from much worse price declines. Hi, my name is Gerhard. I've been in the crypto space for the last 8 years. I hit my first million 3 years ago, and in this video, I want to share the data that I personally use in order to outperform just buying and holding Bitcoin. On average, I've done that by 2% per month over the last 5 years. The data is publicly available on the website that's pinned down below. Here is my active copy trading record. So every single trade is recorded over here. And if you're interested to learn more, then feel free to check out the link. Now, there are already first investors that are now doubling down on their Ondo position after the news. And since May of this year, it seems like the momentum for Ondo Finance has turned around massively. This is the Ondo price relative to the altcoin market cap. Ondo tended to underperform quite consistently. From April of last year to April of this year, it declined by 68%, relatively speaking. So it did worse than the average altcoin. But for a bit over 1 month, we have seen the breakout. Ondo has outperformed the rest of the market by 57%. Now, where did the underperformance come from? It mainly came from token inflation. New tokens hitting the market on an annual basis. Now, those tokens don't get sold directly on the 1st of January. They get sold over time. And that's why we saw the constant underperformance. But it seems like, relatively speaking at least, the token inflation is declining. With the first unlock, the number of Ondo tokens more than doubled. With the second unlock, because those are linear unlocks, the supply only grew by 50%. And so it continues with every annual unlock. Relatively speaking, the circulating supply growth goes down. And so that then begs the question, how much potential upside is there really, as Ondo Finance is the main player in the real world asset narrative? Let's compare. So we've got Chainlink at the very top. Chainlink is not just an RWA play, it's also a data play. It interconnects crypto with traditional finance through oracles. It's got a market cap of 7 billion. Ondo Finance has a market cap of 2 billion. So more than a 4x is rather unlikely. But what about a 2x? So if Ondo was just to get back to its original relative valuation to the rest of the crypto market. In terms of market caps, that's definitely possible, right? It would just move from 2 billion to 4. So let's have a look at the on-chain metrics. We've got the token on the Ethereum chain with 193,000 holders. What we're seeing over here, that's the number of small retail holders over time. So wallets with at least 200,000 Ondo tokens, that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token, and the number of such wallets is increasing long term. The investor base is growing, and that's good. The more people invest in an asset, the higher the price tends to long term go. Now this here, that's the number of medium-sized holders over time. So that's wallets with at least $10,000 worth of Ondo. The growth rate isn't as constant, but at least since beginning of the year, the number of such investors continues to grow. By what rate? Actually quite quick. We are now at 4,000 such wallets. At the beginning of the year, we were only at 3,400. So roughly 20% year to date already. Now, what about the whale wallets with at least $100,000 worth of the token? That, of course, tends to grow the least consistently, but still, since beginning of the year, this tends to go up again. So the on-chain metrics actually look quite healthy. The question is always, does the demand outgrow long-term the supply growth? Now, what we've got over here is the spot trading volume in the last 24 hours. We've got $28 million worth of Ondo that changed hands on Binance. Compare this with the perpetual futures market. Here we had 181 million worth of trading volume. So most of the price discovery happens on the levered bets on the price, on the perpetual futures market. And so let's check out that data. The funding rate tends to be neutral most of the time. Many assets actually moved from a tendency of having a positive funding rate to a neutral funding rate post October 10th. That's when many altcoins had a flash crash. That was due to a mispricing event on the Binance Smart Chain. Binance tended to reduce its data feeds. And so a little bit of trading was able to trigger a cascaded liquidation event. So the market tended to have less of a long bias following that event. When this is green, it means more people bet on rising prices than falling prices. When this is red, it means more people bet on falling prices than rising prices. But post the 10th of October, we are quite balanced. The open interest for Ondo Finance is going up. So open interest is simply the amount of bets on the token price. When this is very high, there's a lot of speculation on Ondo, short-term speculation. When this is very low, then there's much less attention on the token. Now there is positive correlation here, right? When more people speculate on an asset, the asset price itself tends to go up as well, and vice versa. That means we have to watch out for a potential ceiling in open interest. The open interest is currently at around 200 million, but it has the potential to go all the way up to 600 million. So that would speak for a continuation of the positive trend that was established 1 month ago. Trading volume is elevated, but it's not yet at historical heights. And yes, there is a positive correlation between trading volume and the price as well. I don't think that trading volume is that high that we have to be worried about a quick decline. It's probably best to still time the market in Ondo, not just to buy and hold. I've run a backtest, again with Bitcoin Strategy Analytics. That's the backtesting platform available to the premium members. There are tutorial videos on how to run those simulations of buying and selling as well on the platform. So that's over here, stopping the video. Let's have a look at the best golden and dev cross for Ondo. That's over here. So we've got a slow moving average, we've got a fast moving average. We try to figure out when those moving averages crosses. What was historically the best trading strategy? The answer is over here. It's the 14-day versus 30-day simple moving average for Ondo. So that outperformed buying and holding Ondo by more than 100 percentage points per year. This is the performance measured in Ondo. This is the performance measured in US dollars. So we tend to be out of the token whenever it tends to trend down, right? We're just looking at the golden crosses and the dev crosses. Here is a live chart of that. We got our golden cross in Ondo Finance on the 26th of April. And the price tends to continue to appreciate quickly enough. Once we get a dev cross here, the momentum might turn around though. And that's always the risk. Ondo Finance is very volatile. The 14-day versus 30-day SMA historically was the best combination. And I like to use those backtests because they give us very clear entry and exit opportunities, right? So for example, let's take this short in layer 0. So I bet on a falling layer 0 price, while at the same time betting on a rising Bitcoin price. Every single trade that has been tracked here, right, since May of 2024 is locked over here, and there are also the corresponding Telegram messages. So we can just open this, we can verify every single trade. And this here, that's when I entered the layer 0 short. Layer 0 is also very much an inflating token. It tends to go down versus Bitcoin long term. It was on the higher end of the trading range. And I subsequently closed that position after we hit the support and after the short squeeze got reverted again. On average, with all of those trades, I made 5.3% per trade, so you get a realistic picture of what's actually achievable. I'm not promising 10x returns with every single trade. This is how it actually looks like in practice. And I don't think many people are actually willing to share their trading log like this. And I don't have a crystal ball either, right? I'm just using simulations of buying and selling. I'm using the backtesting tool, and that has served me very well. If you don't want to manually copy trade, there is also an automatic copy trading vault. Last year, that made annualized 44%. This year, we are on track to achieve the same. That's available to the annual subscribers though. So if you just join on a monthly plan, you can manually copy trade. If you want to get automatic copy trading, you need to be part of the annual subscription. But I want to make this as risk-free as possible for everybody to try out. So there's also a 7-day money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, just message me within the first 7 days. That's over here, the email address, and I will send the money back to your credit card. Or alternatively, if you pay via crypto, that's available as well. Then I will of course send the crypto money back. So no risk to try it out. Feel free to run your own back tests. Feel free to start out with copy trading as well. Right now, it looks like Ondo still has quite a bit of upside. We have not yet seen a death cross, so the momentum is still bullish. And the sad news might actually be a trigger of even stronger support by the community. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish here regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time here on YouTube or see you on Premium. Link to Premium pops up here on the screen. See you next time. Cheers.